are now listening to Sports Talk 916 with Greg Bull and Coach Greg Veroza.
If you'd like to participate in this show and listen live, there's a number of ways to do it. You can go to the Mixlr app, or you can follow us on Facebook Live every Sunday. You can also go on the wildfireradio.com website and listen to us Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific. And if you want to contact us, head over to our website at sportstalk916.com. There you'll find all of our social media feeds, bonus after-hours content that you won't hear anywhere else.
227.
Hello. What's happening? It's Sunday night again.
It is.
We're back.
It is. We are.
Episode 227, room 227. My name is Coach Greg V. To all you guys out on Facebook Live, hi. And this is my buddy, Mr. Chief, Greg Bull.
Hey, you didn't call me Coach this week.
I know I didn't. I was thinking about that. And together we are the two-headed monsters of Greg that we call Sports Talk 916.
That's right.
So, how was your week?
Week was good. Lots of just, boring stuff, work stuff. Special trip down to San Ramon on Friday, making sure my wife was ready for the surrogacy that she's going to be doing.
Oh, that's right. How's that going?
It's going good. They needed her uterine wall, I guess, to be 8.2 millimeters thick with all the hormones she's on. She's up to like 10.4 right
Holy
now.
cow.
So she's on track. I got to start sticking her in the ass with a long ass needle today. I get to do that every day for the next 8 weeks, which is going to be awesome.
Nice, but are you never mind.
Nope. The needle's like this long.
Is it really?
It's long, and it's
shit.
straight into the meat of the butt, which is awesome. So that she gets that every day for 8 weeks. So she'll enjoy that. But everything is on point for
Cool.
For Friday, actually, this Friday.
Oh, really?
For the big one for the big one to go down.
Nice.
But yeah, that's been my week. Found my biological mom on Facebook.
Really?
I've been talking to her nonstop for about 3 weeks now, so that's
Nice.
been pretty cool. And just kind of tying some pieces together. So no
Well, that's
complaints.
cool.
It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. It's gonna be a nice show. How was your week?
It was good. It was, again, same old, same old. Had a big swim meet this weekend. Kids did really well, so that's always nice.
What's up, Isaac, Barnbaum, TJ?
Sold a couple houses.
Nice.
Did you
New equipment for the show.
Yeah, right. Did you read TJ's list? The start of TJ's list?
The things that need to go away. I have not started it yet.
I did.
Are you on it?
Am I on it? Things that go away?
Things that go away in 2018?
Wow, really? So you want my checkbook to go away too, huh?
No, I'm just asking. Well, the way you said it, like you said you sold houses, and then you were like, "Ew, did you read his list?"
No.
Like,
It just reminded me because I was reading it earlier today. There's a couple I don't know. There's one chick in here. He talks about some political chick that I don't even know who she is, but she's kind of hot.
we'll have to maybe after hours tonight. We'll go through TJ's.
Let's do that.
We'll do that on after hours. TJ,
Yeah, I like
you'll
that.
get some special coverage. I'll even make a note after. God damn, my wrist hurts. Hours.
Really?
I don't know what I did, but
I have a feeling I know.
no, it's not. That's this hand.
Really?
The ligament in this wrist is just out. After hours TJ list. I think I know where it's from. It's from lifting at the gym, squatting and holding the bar funky.
Yeah.
The other day it felt weird when I was doing it, and I kept doing it the same way because it was working, and now I'm fucking paying for it. Cool. So you sold some houses.
Sold some houses. Really, it was pretty.
It's always a good Christmas present for yourself.
Yeah, right.
What's up, Will Nanoff?
Nothing. I mean, really kind of boring week.
Right on. Well,
I like boring. Boring works.
Spruce it up tonight, because tonight we're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo's debut. We're going to talk about the Niners MVP today. We're going to talk about the Raiders. We basically rang the death gong on the Raiders 3 weeks ago, right before their bye.
Right.
And Marshawn Lynch got suspended for being an idiot.
Right.
And we kind of got to backtrack a little bit, because the Raiders are now tied for first place in the AFC West.
Because everybody else in the AFC West sucks right now.
Well, not San Diego.
Not San Diego.
Damn it. L.A.
All right, L.A. Yeah, right.
I'll say it. He's an idiot.
There's that. The Eagles looks like their wings are going to be clipped tonight. Unfortunately, Philly fans. But who knows? I mean, that team. It might be good for them to kind of get a kick in the dick a little bit and get ready for the playoffs. Eli Manning's going to be in the news a little bit. We're going to talk about Eli and what his future may look like. And then the curse of the Lions continues to haunt Detroit. But since Jason's on right now, he made a point last week that Carson Wentz is overrated, not an elite quarterback. And as of right now, apparently Carson Wentz, because they are in Philly, must listen to our show because it's gotten into his head. He's not playing like the Carson Wentz that everyone has all hyped up right now. And so Jason, he may be onto something. He did get back to me after the show, and it wasn't that he was calling him bad. I think that's kind of the angle that we took on it in initial response. It wasn't that he was calling him bad. It's just based on pure statistics. He's not that top 5 quarterback that everyone has him pinned to be yet. And that's
could
a fair
be the
criticism.
MVP though.
He could be. But, we also said that about Alex Smith in the beginning of the season. And,
he fucked me over.
Let's see how that goes. But let's talk about the 49ers because... Yeah, Herm Edwards is going back to college.
Yeah.
49ers and Jimmy Garoppolo made his debut today.
And I saw 0 minutes of the game. So.
That's why I made it a point to watch every snap of the game.
I was busy working.
Yeah, I was napping afterwards. But no, I watched the game. Garoppolo looked good.
Did he?
Looked poised. It didn't look like he had very much issue with the vernacular. They talked about Kyle Shanahan, who's typically very hyper on the sideline, very active, very pumped up into the game, and his approach this week was maintain his composure. Don't get overly worked up. Keep everything simple. That way, if he's in a frenzy and he's trying to call in a play, he may jumble things up because he's in the heat of the moment, and that may screw up Garoppolo. So he kept it calm-headed, cool demeanor the whole game. And he said, we're not scared to use our timeouts should we need them in case there's any kind of issue. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't one burnt timeout in the first half. Everything was strategic. Mm-hmm. And in the second half, there was one that Garoppolo called the timeout after the Bears called a timeout because the substitution packages were coming in slow. And they couldn't get him, the play call properly because of the fact that the the plays were calling in, or the players were coming in slowly. So aside from that, though, Garoppolo's stat line: 26 for 37, 293 yards, career high.
Wow.
1 interception, first of his career.
Right.
But it literally was one of the best plays I've ever seen on a ball by a cornerback. Will Fuller, who had a game of his life today. Louis Murphy Jr. had the ball, hit him in the hands. As Fuller goes over the top, and as he's falling down, just has his hands on the ball and just rips it out of his hands. He had gravity.
So it wasn't a thrown interception. It was more of a kind of stolen ball interception.
It was a needle over Fuller because Fuller jumped it, and he was able to squeeze it in, hit Murphy right in the hands. Murphy just didn't have the solid grasp on it. And like I said, Fuller went over the top of the play. So as he's falling, he had the momentum taking him to the ground. Mm-hmm. Where Murphy was just falling. This guy was diving. So he had all the momentum. So once he grabbed the ball, it just landed on his stomach. So it was definitely I wouldn't even call it a 50-50 ball. It was just a damn good play by Will Fuller on the defensive side of the ball. He was back to Garoppolo, moving in the pocket really well. A lot of what we saw last week, extending the play, keeping his head up. Looked really good. He threw some needle passes in there that were amazing. How he snuck it in between coverage was unbelievable. And I hate to say it because it's one game, but you can tell that he learned a lot from his time behind Tom Brady. And that was apparent from the first snap of the game.
Well, I know when he played last week, too. A couple of those I
take that back. Second snap of the game. First snap of the game looked like I threw the pass.
Oh, really?
It was like a quick stop by the wide receiver. And I think it was Marquise Goodwin, who's like 4'6", and he threw that ball like it was like Yao Ming
Oh, really?
It sailed, and it was a duck, and it was just, and I'm like, oh crap, that's what it's gonna be. And then he toned it down right after that, so it worked out really well. But yes, very good game, very very solid game. No touchdowns. The Niners won the game 15-14, and Robbie Gould 5 for 5 today.
Yeah,
first time in his career he made 5 field goals in a
really.
game. First game back to Chicago since
you don't think he was fired up for today's game, do you?
First game back in Chicago since they released him after what, an 8-year career there.
Yeah.
The defense looked decent, looked really weak at times, but then they had moments of shining. Overall, very impressive with what they were able to do to get Garoppolo in. He didn't look panicked. He didn't look rushed, and it was a good game. I enjoyed a lot of it.
So, like I said, I didn't see much of the game. What was their? Why did they have to settle for 5 field goals? Were they just bad in the red zone, like always?
It wasn't even that they were bad in the red zone. The Bears played probably their best defensive game of the year. The Bears, he's 4-9 in heels.
I know.
The Bears literally, I mean, their secondary played out of their mind today. And I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that the Niners just don't have weapons.
Right.
Marquise Goodwin was great today, but when you're inside the 25, there's not really much he can do. He's a speedster. Trent Taylor had 94 yards receiving today. For the rookie. He looked really good. Again, it was one of those things where he's a slot guy. There's not a lot of room in the slot when you're in the red zone.
Right.
It gets a little jumbled up. Selleck and Kittle look decent. They look really comfortable with them in there. Like I said, the Bears just, when it got close, they just made really good plays and they played really good defense. In the first quarter, Fuller, the cornerback for the Bears, had 3 tackles, 1 for a loss, 2 batted balls, and an interception in the first quarter.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we had defensive players in our fantasy league, anyone that had him would have been
golden today.
Like, it would have been holy shit mode.
How did they run? How did the Niners run the ball, or who ran the ball? Did Hyde run?
Yeah, there's a comment. It was a split backfield of Hyde and Breida. Both of them ran the ball really well. The Niners, the problem today was their special teams, in particular their kick coverage. No, he was good.
A fucking punter.
He was decent.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was kicking the ball really well. The issue was their kick coverage, and
I'm having trouble with this mic today. Sorry.
You good?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Kick coverage. The Niners gave up their first punt return touchdown since the 70s.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And it was just nasty. I mean, their kick coverage was gross. The refs weren't the best. Like, the Niners were getting killed on blocking the backs, where the Bears, I mean, they murdered Pinion on one of those kickoffs, on one of the punts. Murdered him in the back. Like, bulldozer in the back.
Really?
And they let it go. You'll have to look it up, because Cohen had a game of his life today, the kick returner for the Bears. It was like, I can doodle it for you here, and I'll show it to the Facebook Live folks once they see my illustration here. If I can find my pen, here it is. So the kickoff comes down, and they're working this way, right?
Is it a kickoff or a punt?
So Cohen gets the ball here and goes like this, 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 and goes like whoop, touchdown.
Oh shit!
Tell me, Facebook Live, is that accurate? Started in the middle, made a little kidney, a little garbanzo bean there, and it was bad. I mean, it was one of those things where you're like, holy crap, tackle the damn guy. But you know, it was a good game. The Niners, I don't know if we need wins. You know, maybe it wasn't the best outcome, but it is what it is, right? We need to see what we have with Garoppolo.
They're going to be where they are. Right. I mean, they're going to be a top 5 pick no matter what they do.
I'm pretty sure they're locked into the top 3 regardless of what happens at this point.
Are they?
I think so. I don't think with the Jets winning today and with yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Dude on the Bears runs 15 yards the wrong way, then runs 75 yards for a touchdown. It was the craziest touchdown I've ever seen. I won't say ever seen, Mike, but yeah, it was pretty nutty. I was like, damn it. But yeah, Garoppolo looked good. I mean, if he continues like this, I think the Niners are really going to have to reconsider the idea of simply just franchise tagging him, because he may earn his money if he can continue to grow. And I think he is a really, really good fit for Kyle Shanahan's system, because the announce team was talking about, they're like, well, if you're expecting to see the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick offense because of Garoppolo learning it, then you're in for a rude awakening. They're like, you're going to see the Kyle Shanahan system finally executed the way it's supposed to be executed. And it was. It was good. It was good.
Good.
Definitely satisfied with the way it was.
Did you see Birnbaum's thing?
Which one?
Dude.
I just read it.
I know you did, but that doesn't sound like Birnbaum talking at all.
Right, someone's typing for him. CBS was showing that he ran for like 120 yards on that return. Yeah, that's probably accurate. Mike, if you want to see the craziest one, go on YouTube and look up Seneca Wallace. I don't remember where he played college. I'm drawing a blank, but if you just type in Seneca Wallace touchdown
Washington,
run,
I think?
No, he played somewhere else. Seneca Wallace touchdown run. I want to say he covered like 180 something yards for a 60-yard touchdown scramble as a quarterback. It's one of the craziest things you'll ever see. Inter needed a better punter that can tackle. Niners needed a better punter that can tackle. Oh, Iowa State. There it is. Yeah, Iowa State. Seneca Wallace was my Pee Wee football coach here in Rancho.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Is he a local dude?
He is. He's from Sac. He went to Cordova High.
Really?
All right,
I
Raiders.
think I knew that.
Let's talk about the Raiders because, like I said, we played the Death Dong. God damn it.
I say he's an idiot.
Death Gong on the Raiders a couple weeks ago. They lost that game against... Who did they lose to after that game? We're like either way, they lost the game that they should have won, and we ruled them out. We were like, you guys are done. There's no way. We talked about Jack Del Rio being on the hot seat. There's no way this team's gonna rebound. And go on YouTube and look up the Jimmy Garoppolo song. Is that what you texted me, Jason? I'll check that out here in a little bit. And we really started just tearing them down, and then the Chiefs decided that they're done playing football this year. And then the Chargers decided, you know what? Maybe we'll make it a little bit interesting.
We'll win a game in the last second.
And by the way, kudos to the Charger fans. They actually showed up today.
Did they?
The place was packed. And it was mostly baby blue, which was very interesting. Yeah, it's very good to see.
Did they play in baby blues?
No, they played in their new like deep blue and yellows. Oh, they're so nice.
Really?
Oh, I loved them. Absolutely loved them. They were great. But yeah, so the Chiefs start out 5-0.
Right.
They
trust me, I know this.
They can't beat anybody, or they couldn't lose anybody. Now they've lost 5 of the last 6. They're 6-6, and all of a sudden, the West that they are running away with has a 3-way tie.
Well, you know what was carrying the Chiefs at the beginning of the season was Alex Smith and their defense. That was carrying them. Mm-hmm. And throwing a couple of running backs that would have alternating good games, and that's what you had. Well, they shut down Alex Smith, they shut down the running backs, and the defense hasn't done shit. So today, Alex Smith decides he's going to come back and he's going to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns, and that's fine, and the running backs are going to have a good game. The defense didn't do shit.
Well, here's the thing, though. Andy Reid finally pulled his head out of his ass.
And quit calling plays.
Let his offensive coordinator call plays. And then the offense came back. Kelsey had a good game. Hill had a good game. Smith had a great game. But yeah, the defense shit the bed again.
Yeah.
And I think that's coming down to, that's just, that's just going to be the AFC West. These teams can't play consistently. And it's pretty much going to just put a hard spot on either one of those teams, no matter which one it is in the playoffs, because you don't know what team's going to show up, and they don't know what team's going to show up, which is going to make it really hard for them to advance in the playoffs. But they won today. They couldn't have had a better time to have Amari Cooper out on concussion protocol.
Right.
They had Crabtree out on a suspension, which was reduced to 1 game for the fight with Talib from 2. Marshawn Lynch looked good today. He had that 50-yard touchdown right up the middle. It didn't look like anyone touched him. But it couldn't have happened at a better time because they played against the New York Giants,
which are probably one of the few teams that were a bigger shit show than they've been.
Led by quarterback, wait for it, Geno Smith, who I didn't even know was in the league anymore.
I didn't either.
I think he rented a room at MetLife Stadium, and they're like, one of you guys have to sign him. He's paying part of the rent. And that's why he went from the Jets to the Giants. He's like, I'm not fucking leaving. He's like, I'm just staying here. You guys signed me. Whatever you want to do. But it broke Eli's 210-game starting streak, which I think was a joke for McAdoo to do that. I don't think McAdoo finally makes it home. There's already reports that came out today that, regardless of how this game shapes up, after the way he handled Eli, that he's going to be fired.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Eli gets rolled out today as the team's captain.
Was he really?
He was out there for the coin toss. Doesn't get to play. Then yesterday in the press conference or in the meetings with media, they asked him about Eli, and he goes, "This is McAdoo. Well, I still feel that Eli is an elite quarterback, and we could still win championships with him, and he's definitely not done. I mean, he's still going to be a championship caliber quarterback." Then why the fuck are you starting Geno Smith?
I think if McAdoo would have come out and said, look, our offensive line is decimated. Our receivers are decimated. Our running backs are it's dangerous for him to be out there. We can't protect him. We're going to sit him because we want to keep him healthy and alive.
So what you do, though, is you don't be a dick and you let his start streak stay. You start him every game.
Well, he didn't want that.
Throw a pass.
According to McAdoo, he was offered the chance to start the game and get pulled at halftime, and he went, bullshit. I'm not doing that.
Well, hey, more power to him.
He had, he was offered that. What they need to do is, if they want to bench him, say, look, we're not going anywhere. Our health is, his health is good. We want to keep him for the next couple years. Let's sit him, and at least make it look like you're doing it for his benefit, not because they want to see what Davis Webb or was that you? Oh, yeah. Oh, it sounded like you farted.
No, they don't vibrate that much.
See how Geno Smith and Davis Webb are doing. There's no way either one of those guys are ever going to start more than 2 games a year.
Hell no.
They're both horrible. Everybody knows that the Giants are going to go out and draft a quarterback with their first-round pick this year. So why? That I think is what's got everybody burned up. Is they're both horrible. Everybody knows that that you're me.
It's mine. What the hell? It's because Will Nanoff liked our video. He laughed at my drawing, and I accidentally clicked on that.
Oh. So anyway, so there's no reason for them to even be playing, and there's no Eli.
TJ just said, as much as I've loathed him, he did get done dirty. I'm actually feeling bad for the guy after all he's done for that organization.
Yeah,
exactly. And I believe, and this could be me coming out of left field with this, that Eli won't start a game until next season. And that start will come in the uniform of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think so too. I agree with you 100%.
There's going to be 4 teams that Eli plays for next year. It's going to be either the Denver Broncos, because his brother is still super close with the Broncos. He still lives in Denver. He can come in and he can follow the footsteps of Peyton
if he wants to do that.
The Broncos defense is still a Super Bowl quality defense. They can still get into it. They just need an offense. Paxton Lynch and Osweiler are not going to be the answer there.
Right.
So he could go to Denver. I could see him going to, I mentioned Jacksonville. I can see Miami being an option because Cutler and Moore aren't going to be the answer there. And the other one that I can see happening, and I think this is number 2 on the list behind Jacksonville because of Tom Coughlin and everyone that's involved there, is Indy. I think I can see them getting rid of Andrew Luck, and I can see him going there. And again, unfortunately for him, it would be under the shadow of his big brother. But
see, I would rank him a little bit different. I agree with you on all 4 of those. I think Indy's the last team he's going to go to.
Really?
Yeah,
I think because of the brother thing.
I just think they don't have an offensive line. They're not in a position where they're going to win. He's not going to go. He's going to go somewhere where he's going to be in a position to win. He's not going to go to a rebuild, and that's really what Indy is. They're in a rebuilding process. So I don't see him going to Indy as much as anybody, as maybe the second team. I definitely see him as the number one. His number 1 is at Jacksonville. I think number 2 is Denver, and Miami I think is a distant third. I think it's going to be one of those two teams.
So as I mentioned earlier, I think the Eagles' wings have been clipped. They're going to lose 24-10 at least in Seattle tonight. So there's 57 seconds left in the game. Philly has the ball, so we'll see what happens there. Let's talk one more thing. I mentioned the curse of the Lions in Detroit. So I don't know if anyone saw this or not. But
it's posted on our Sports Talk 916 Facebook page.
Awesome. So if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see it. There's a video of Mike says, Greg B, all the teams you mentioned are in the AFC. Do you see Eli playing for any NFC team next year? I really don't. I think that he switches ships. I mean, there's not really an NFC team that stands out to me that...
I'm just trying to go through the list right now. Arizona?
Arizona was the other one that was on my list, and So Bruce Arians won't be there next year. It looks like he's already planning on resigning or stepping down from his role this year.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to go with an old veteran quarterback, I think they give Carson Palmer one more year there. He has one more year left on his deal. There's no need to take him away. You let Palmer and Fitzgerald kind of ride off into the sunset together next year. And Palmer, if he stays healthy, I mean, he could still be a decent quarterback to lead that team. Their defense is getting better. They just need a running game out there. I mean, they got super unlucky this year with what's his name getting hurt, with Johnson getting hurt. And I think there's a whole different dynamic if that doesn't happen, if David Johnson doesn't go down early in the season.
I got another team just popped into my head. There's a lot of people think that Drew Brees is going to get let go. What do you think about Eli going to New Orleans and playing for his hometown team?
That one would be interesting.
There's a lot of talk that he's gonna walk as a free agent, or they're gonna release him. That his time is over. I do too. I do too. But if they do, then I can see them going full force for Eli.
Yeah, maybe.
So, Mike, yeah, that's probably the one place. I can see him. I can see New Orleans taking a stab at him and trying to get him there if they get rid of Breeze.
TJ, the theme song for the Pontiac Silverdome should be "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John. So yeah, let's get to that real quick.
All right.
So they do an implosion, right? Which is one of the coolest spectacles that you can watch.
Absolutely.
And the demo team goes in and they set up all their explosives on all the steel structure beams across the entire stadium. They said that there wasn't a beam that was left untouched when it came to structure beams. And they do it. They do their countdown and everything's going and it's boom, 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 boom. And you see all the flashes all the way around the building, right? And then the dust starts to settle and the building still stands. And everyone's like looking at it like, did they screw up? What's going on? And the demo team comes out and they're like, no, we did it right. We guarantee, we triple checked it. Everything is good. The building was just built too well. That was his quote. It was just built too well.
Oh, shit.
So basically, right now, as it stands, no pun intended.
It won't die.
Right. It's going to come down. It's just a matter of when gravity takes over and everything starts to slide because all the support structures are gone.
Are they?
Yeah, they got rid of all of them. They all blew up like they were supposed to. But for some reason, everything just settled on itself and nothing fell.
So they're going to wake up in the morning and the place is going to be leveled.
Yeah, it's going to go down like the wind is going to, a bird's going to fly by and hit the building. Yeah. Someone's going to come by and just throw a rock at it.
That's funny.
But yeah, so there's that going on. Let's do this. Since we didn't play it last week, we're going to play your commercial.
Okay.
And then we're going to get into an Are You Kidding Me that I think is going to burn the asses of a few people, including yourself.
Okay.
For all of your real estate needs in Sacramento area, Northern California, and across the country, give me a call, 916-223-6688. It's Greg Veroza from Keller Williams Realty. If you're out of the area, I know people all over the country that can help you out. So give me a call, 916-223-6688. Or you can go to my website, gregveroza.com.
Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? You kidding me, right?
Are you kidding me?
You kidding? You kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
All right, Greg Rosa, time for Are You Kidding Me? So, as you know, and maybe you don't, since Colin Kaepernick took his knee, the NFL has been in a peaceful protest against police brutality and injustice and whatever. Like, basically, it's an all-encompassing situation. Well, there is a new committee. Eric Reed of the Niners is one of the people on it, and a few other guys are on it, who recently were having some issues with Anquan Bolden and a few other guys because they're overpowering the message of the group. Well, the NFL today, or yesterday maybe, announced that they are now going to support what are they calling it? They're calling it the NFL Left of Center Social Justice Organization or group or whatever they're calling themselves, right? Left of Center. So that's what they're calling them.
Is that a new group or is that?
No, this is the players that have been coordinating together to bring awareness to this. So they're going to donate annually $90 million to this cause. Okay?
Okay.
So across the NFL, we should be expecting, ticket increases, right? Mm-hmm. Parking increases. Mm-hmm. Some kind of revenue coming from one of the most profitable companies or organizations on the planet, right?
You would think.
A tax-free organization.
Right.
So $90 million is going to the Left of Center Social Justice Group. They're not getting the money from parking or revenue share or merchandising or ticket sales or beer sales or anything like that.
TV deal?
No, not TV deal either. That would take money out of the owner's pockets.
Right.
You know what they're doing? They're taking the money from the Salute to Service and the breast cancer awareness organizations and just giving it to the other one.
Are you kidding me?
They're getting rid of the donations to the other two already established groups and taking that already allocated money and switching it to one organization. So no more Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. No more Salute to Service in September or November, whatever month they do it in. Now it's going to be the injustice.
What?
Yeah. Because they couldn't just go, okay, we have 90 million. Instead of doing 45 and 45, let's do 27 and a half or 30 million to each one of them,
Yeah.
No, just take it away the other two. They all get the 90. Yeah.
I know I'm supposed to talk right now, but I don't have anything to say. And Goodell just signed. Has he signed his new contract yet?
No. I mean, I understand trying to bring awareness to it. Like
I do too. I get it.
That's a cause that needs attention.
But Mike,
taking away from the two that have been around for so now let's be real though. We've covered this. The NFL gets paid by USO to do Salute to Service.
Right.
And they donate like $6 to breast cancer awareness in October because they give like very little of it to the cause. So they're probably not, aside from visual contribution, like everyone's seeing the pink and everyone's seeing the camo, the monetary investment that the NFL is giving to these organizations, I guarantee you it's not $90 million.
No.
This is more or less, I would imagine that $90 million is going to be for advertising, for getting the pink gear or the camo gear out to the teams. It's all the merchandising that comes along with it.
Right.
They're not going to get a lot of money to this group, but it's going to bring awareness.
So my question was, and I heard this the other day, and somebody made a great point, and that is, what they're trying to influence a way of thinking that people have, whether it's how they feel about the African American community or how people think about race relations or how the police think about how they're. What exactly are they going to donate this money to? What kind of organizations are going to get this money? There's not a whole lot of organizations out there that are.
All I can say is I hope that they research it and do it the right way.
I just don't think there's anybody for them to give the money to. I think it's just blown smoke up somebody's ass.
Yeah, I really hope that they don't I hope that they don't do this a disservice
Oh, they will.
by
Absolutely, they
by
will.
making it bigger than it is now, because I think the players, as much controversy as it's bringing up, it's working. And the way that they're going about it now is way better than when it started, obviously.
Well, obviously, because they're doing something.
Right, and it's getting people that normally wouldn't talk about it talking about it. But the problem is they're not doing it the right. It's a perception of the NFL. It's exactly right, Jason. It's all it is. They want to look like they're the good guys. And I just hope that they don't fuck this up and do a bigger disservice than the people that were criticizing it and coming out, oh, let's put it this way. And this is the last thing I'm saying on this before we switch subjects. I hope that they don't make a mockery out of what the players are trying to accomplish, a la the direction that 45 is taking on this by going on Twitter and just making a big joke out of the whole
He's
thing.
just an idiot. I don't even want to get into that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to get into it. I just hope that they don't make it a joke like White House is right now.
But everything else that they've done, and we've talked about this 100 times. Everything else that they've done for charities has been a joke. It's been a sham.
Yep.
You know, it's just, look at us. Look at all our guys wearing pink. Boy, we're bringing up breast cancer awareness. And we're donating $30 million. No, they're not.
Nope.
They're not. They're charging people. They're charging veterans to run onto the field.
What up, Albert? Exactly.
So, I don't know. Yeah, let's move on.
This is stupid. I want to talk about vaginas.
Right.
Let's hear from Tony, and then we're going to talk baseball. Hey, guys, I'm excited to announce a new partnership with Antonio Pacheco from Folsom Lake Ford. Tony has been my go-to sales guy for a number of years, and he's come on board to bring the awesome sales buying experience to each and every one of you. All of his information is on our website at sportstalk916.com, but if you're in a hurry and you're looking for a new car, give him a call today. Antonio Pacheco, area code 530-218-7069. He will answer all of your questions in regards to the car buying experience, and he is the main guy that I trust in the Sacramento area for all of your car buying needs. Again, Antonio Pacheco, Folsom Lake Ford, 530-218-7069.
What up, Tony?
All right, let's talk about baseball. The Giancarlo Stanton rumors continue to swirl. I tried calling you today to talk to you about it. You ignored my call.
I was busy.
Oh, whatever. So, over the weekend, well, I guess this is the weekend. Over the week, there were reports of, did we even get it? I don't even think, we'll just backtrack. So,
Yeah.
there was reports out that Stanton was waiting for the Dodgers, right? That's all he cares about. Dodgers are priority one. He's not going to make a decision. It could be next season before he makes a decision on where he wants to go, because the Dodgers are the team he wants to be. They're priority one. It's been said that the Giants are team two, and then they'll trickle down from there. The Marlins and Derek Jeter came out and said, basically, you work with us on a deal that we decide is right for you to be moved, or we're going to move everybody else on this team, and you're going to be the last one here because we need to shed contracts. So that includes their other outfielder that I'm always drawing a blank on his name, who I think the Giants, if they don't get Stanton, should just go after him.
Right.
That includes D. Gordon. That includes any pitching prospects that they have. That includes everybody not named Stanton. And a lot of people are like, oh, they're bluffing. Well, John Morrissey and a lot of, beat writers for Major League Baseball feel that was exactly the right thing to do, and that Jeter's not bluffing on this. Jeter's stone cold right now. Like, he's been firing people left and right. Like, I think he fired one of his executives on Thanksgiving. Like, Jeter don't give a damn. He's like fucking, he's damn, I just ruined my little joke. What was that? Honey Badger. Honey Badger don't, whatever. Derek Jeter's Honey Badger. And Christian Yelich, that's the guy. If they could get, just go after Yelich, whatever.
No, why not?
But anyways, so they gave this ultimatum, and then Friday night, I believe it was, there was reports all of a sudden that the Giants are heading down to L.A. The Giants, being Sabian and Bobby Evans, were heading down to L.A. to meet with Giancarlo Stanton's people. And the next day,
Meeting with the Marlins, actually.
No, I reported that wrong. It was actually meeting with
Was
Stanton's
it?
reps. Oh, what the hell? I just lost my headphones.
I've been losing mine all night.
Fuck. Meet with Stanton's reps. That was the big thing. And then it was that the reports came out that Stanton was actually there, which originally wasn't part of it. There. What? Wait. Shit. Anyways, there we go. Don't touch that cord.
So Stanton wasn't there?
So that was the original reports. And then a couple days later, after they met with St. Louis, Stanton was actually there. And he was involved in the pitches. And this morning... Oh, sorry, let me backtrack again. There was another report that came out that basically said the Giants are all in. They're willing to take the entire contract, which something St. Louis was not able to do. Or not willing to do. And then, you jump on any kind of social media and you start reading articles written by, like, all the fan groups, like... redbirds.com and I bleed orange and black or whatever whatever website you want to insert in there, both of those which are not Redbird websites that I'm aware of, but like you'll get an article that's like the Cardinals have now upped their offer, they've included pitching prospects so and so, they've now jumped ahead of the Giants because this and that or whatever, and they're like, and then like you comment on there and you're like, do you not know how this shit works? He has the full no trade clause.
Right.
Like, the Marlins can take your entire roster. If he doesn't want to play there, he's not going there. And you get into, like, this back and forth. And then, Giants fans be like, oh, they're taking all the money. The Dodgers don't want any of it. The deal's too sweet for Stanton to pass up. Again, if he doesn't want to play for the Giants, he's not going to. Like, there's so much going on. Well, the Giants said they're willing to take all $295.
But how does it, I guess what I don't understand is all he has to do is decide who he wants to play for. It's between the Marlins and that team on what the payment is and what the terms of the deal are. It doesn't matter to him if the Giants pick up all his contract.
Yeah, I don't know why it's going the way it is. It should just be, all right, who do you want to play for? Who do you want us to call?
Right.
They're not going that route. So this morning, report comes out that the Marlins have agreed to terms on the trade with the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals. The deal's now on hold, and it's up to Stanton to decide which team he wants to play for. So they've already agreed. All the negotiations are done. The deals are in place. No one's released what the deals are. But last thing I heard was the Giants were willing to take on all the contracts, but they wanted to include Helio Ramos, the Giants outfielder prospect, in it. Maybe instead of Panic, because
I'm all for that.
Because D. Gordon's not a part of the deal anymore. There's also talks that D. Gordon could be back into the deal. There's no specifics as far as that goes, but it's on the clock now for Stanton. Rumor has it that people close to the situation feel that Wednesday will be the absolute latest we hear a decision. It could be as early as tomorrow morning. It could be as late as Wednesday night. People don't see it going beyond Wednesday because the following weekend's when winter meetings start and everyone else wants to get their season started.
Right.
So ideally, if Stanton comes over, that'd be great, right? And then, people are like, oh, the Giants can't afford that. Giants fans are going to be so screwed. And then someone else, TJ saw me ripping into people the other night on Twitter. Someone was like, oh, how are they going to afford that? I'm like, you guys don't know. I think, no, what it was, one person finally mentioned the Giants ownership outside ventures that bring in revenue. And I'm like, thank God, one person finally mentions the condos that we've been talking about for like 2 years.
Yeah, but it's not. My problem with it isn't when I say they can't afford it, and when the people that are in the know say they can't afford it, it's not the amount of money. It's the luxury tax,
right?
And it's even more so. It's the number of draft picks that you have to give up as a penalty for being in the luxury tax that's going to hurt this team.
Yeah.
And so when I say they can't afford it, that's what I'm saying.
No, I get you.
And because the organization can't afford it because they need to stock up on those younger players.
Side of things, not the wallet side of things.
Because we all know, we all know that the Giants are, top 2 or 3 teams in revenue. They're drawing 3 million fans a year. They own their stadium outright, so there's no payment on that anymore. So financially, money-wise, having the dollars in the bank to do it is not a problem. It's the luxury tax.
The thing is, though, I think that the Giants have already paid the luxury tax 2 years now. They're willing to do it again. It just shows it goes to show that, and TJ said this a number of times, and I used it today on Twitter as well. Last year's 99 or 98 loss team is not this. That's not the Giants. It was a fluke season that they lost that many games. The team's not that bad.
Right.
It was untimely injuries. It was bad hitting. Like, there's no power in the lineup. It was just a bad year. I'd be willing to put money on it, even without Stanton. If you rolled out a healthy lineup that we had this year, we're not losing 98 games again.
No, they're within 10 games of 500, I would say.
I think they're even higher than that. I think that they can be like second or third place in the West.
Right.
And, they're not going to be Dodgers good. Like, I'm willing to admit that, but they're not a 70-win team.
No.
And one guy came out and said that, and he's like, oh, well, it's going to be funny when they land Stanton and he's on a 70-win team. I'm like, even without him, they're not a 70-win team. There's no way they're that bad. It was just a bad year. And then some other dude today, and I need to run a new segment called Twidiots, because this guy goes, oh, actually, hold on, before we get to that. Otahni, the two-way player from Japan.
Oh, yeah.
He's narrowed his list down to 4 teams that he wants to meet with: the Dodgers, the Mariners, the Giants, and one other one.
Well, I heard that it was a small market team in the West Coast, so that to me eliminates the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers are on his list of finalists because they do have a pretty big Asian population down there. But the Giants have, aside from their luxury tax and all that, from my understanding, there's a separate payroll delegation for international commitment.
Yes.
So, like, they can go out and they can spend all this money on Otahni.
Right.
There's not a bigger Asian cultural demographic right around the ballpark he's going to be playing in than anywhere in San Francisco. Seattle's close.
I was going to say Seattle's a close second.
But the Giants, I mean, they already had Wang there last year, Wong there last year. So they already have the infrastructure in place for the translator to be with the team.
Who was the 4th team?
I don't remember who the 4th team was, but I don't think it matters. I think it's going to come down to San Francisco and Seattle. But can you imagine if the Giants get Stanton and Otahni? Because he's a two-way player. He hit 30 home runs last year, and he was like the top 3 pitcher in their league.
Where do you play him?
If you lose panic, put him at second base until he pitches.
He's an outfielder, isn't he?
I don't know. He's Asian. He can probably play anything he wants.
Oh, God.
Those guys are good. Look at Ichiro. He can play anything. They asked Bochy about him last year, and Bochy said if we can land him, he'll play every single day, including pitching. So in my estimation, that'd be 3 days a week. He plays on the field 3 days, pitches the 4th day, and then has 3 days rest.
Yeah.
Isn't Wang a Chinese? It was KWHYNG or something. Wong Wang. He was Korean, I think. But they have the infrastructure for the translation team to follow the team around and whatever. Does he speak Asian? Yes, he speaks Asian.
God.
But so imagine that, right? So imagine they land them both, and then some Twidiot gets on. I'm trying to coin that phrase, by the way. I came up with it today because I was trying to write Twitter idiots, and I blended them. Like,
is that like Kafifi?
Yeah, sure. Twidiots. The top Twidiot is 45.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? Oh, so this guy on Twitter goes, "It's gonna be so great when HWANG." Thanks, TJ. He went back to Korea, by the way. He's done with the Major League Baseball. Some guy goes, "It's going to be so great when the Giants are second place for Stanton and second place for Otahni and are forced to go back to an outfield of Pence, Parker, Span, and Tomlinson." And I was like, hold on, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're going to miss out. You're going to have to go back to what you guys had this year. I was like, are you under the impression that if they don't land these 2 players that they have to forfeit free agency? I was like, they still have a chance to bring in other guys. He's like, nope, mediocrity. And I'm like, you don't get it. You don't understand how this works. Just because they don't land a trade for Stanton, they could still go out and get Martinez. They can still go out and get Moustakas. They could go out and get Lorenzo Cain. They could get Clutch. They could get a lot of different players.
Right.
They're not just like disqualified. Sorry, you put all your eggs in one basket.
You took your shot. That was it.
You put all your eggs in the Stanton basket. We gave you an extra egg for Otahni. You missed them both. Back of the line, Giants. Right. You don't get shit. And I was just scratching my head. That was like 20 minutes before we went on the air today. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? So the Giants are front runners, in my opinion, for Stanton. They're front runners for Otahni. Bring them both in.
Absolutely.
That
shows up your outfield right there.
And then
even if he's only playing 3 days a week out there.
And then put Pence out there the other two.
Yeah.
Our luck at that rate, the Giants win 74 games. But Stanton hits like 67, 80 home runs, some crazy number, but we lose every game. But how do you? I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. But how do you feel about the Stanton situation? How do you feel about? It wasn't even an A's fan; it was a Dodgers fan. I got into it with A's fans too, but that was a Dodger fan. How do you feel about the Stanton or the Otahni situation going on right now with the Giants and their aggression toward it?
Well, they have to do something. There's no way that they can stand pat. There's no way that they can, like your Twittiot friend said, that they can bring back out that outfield that they had. They have to do something. They have to show their fans that they can actually get somebody signed that's a high quality free agent. Right. And so they're going to go after those guys, and they're going to do it any way they can. And it's interesting that Sabian went along with Evans down to talk to Stanton, because you and I both have zero confidence in Evans and think that he's pretty much demolished this team. And they need to. Evans needs to show that he can do it, but I think Sabian. I think maybe Sabian has the same kind of feeling about Evans that we do. Is he's not going to risk it. He's going to go down. It's like,
this one's too important.
This one's too important. I'm going to handle this. Stand back, son.
Come on, baby bird. I got you.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you do it, but to me, it's driver's ed. He's in the car. Evans is driving. He's got full control, but Sabian has his foot hovering over that brake. And if you start to veer out of your lane, he's going to tap that brake to slow you down and correct you back in line. That's why he was at the Stanton meeting.
Or do you think it's like a ventriloquist dummy? That Evans is just the ventriloquist dummy? Is the puppet?
No, I think that he has enough faith in Evans to pull it off. But if things start to venture away,
I like that analogy too. By the way, I like it. Yeah,
he's the
driver's
ed teacher. Real quick, I want to mention something. We have 7 minutes left. We're going to get into our picks, and then we'll do some after hours. But I want to give a heads up to for I haven't recorded a commercial for it yet, but for years we've been talking about Warrior Pack, originalwarriorpack.com. My wife and I use them for our OCR gear, gloves, arm sleeves, leg sleeves, shirts. They designed my breast cancer awareness logo for my mom after she passed away for my race in Monterey 2 years ago. It's Christmas time. The OCR season is winding down, and it's time to start gearing up for 2018. ST916 gets you 10% off at originalwarriorpack.com. They're offering shipping as quick as 1 to 2 day guarantee. But remember that the Postal Service is in charge of those shipping dates, so they likely will screw that up right around Christmas time. So get your orders in early. ST916, again, they have full finger gloves, half finger gloves. They have sleeves. They have all the gear you need. Tracy and Kelly are awesome with the brand they're building. Will Nanoff, he's in the chat box right now. He's used them. It got him through Tahoe, and it's a great product. So check them out. Originalwarriorpack.com.
Cool.
Code ST916. Let's do our picks for Week 14, and then we'll jump into some after hours, which will include TJ's things that need to go in 2018 and news about the Sacramento Republic FC.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not here to get back in the presidential race. But you never know. I could be swayed. America needs me. Okay, now it's time for the most luxurious, amazing, incredible picks in the world. Mine. I'll take the Ravens to top the Bengals, even though that doesn't make sense because cats eat birds. I'll also take the Rams to beat the Seahawks, but who really cares? My upset pick is the Eagles to beat the Giants, and my wild card is the Bills to sink the Dolphins.
All right, boys, you heard his picks. Now it's your turn. Greg B, who you got?
We've been playing that for how many weeks now?
12.
12? I love it still. I still cracks me up every time.
That doesn't make sense because cats eat birds. Oh, man. Good times. Thanks, 45. Let's jump. Oh, first of all, TJ brought this up to my attention. For every single week this year, Josh Zimmerman has led our picks. He's been kicking our ass. As of right now.
No.
Well, he's been like 2 or 3 picks ahead of everybody the entire season. As of right now, going into tonight's game, it may have changed, but going into before the conclusion of tonight's game, Greg Bowl, Greg Veroza, Mike Liston Vanterpool, and TJ Longacre sit atop of our pick'em at 120 wins.
Let me see. I'll look it up here real quick.
So it's been going good. So let's do week 14, shall we?
Let's do it.
Week 14.
Yep. All at 120.
Thursday night football. The Saints travel to the Falcons.
Because we all picked Philadelphia.
Right.
Saints at the Falcons.
I'm taking the Saints. Falcons look bad today.
You know, I'm going to go the Falcons because I don't think they're going to have lay 2 eggs in a row.
Let's see here. Colts go to the Bills. Tyrod Taylor's hurt again.
I have no confidence in the Colts. I'm going Bills.
I'm going to go Buffalo also. The Cowboys, who apparently got their swagger back, go to the Giants.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, I'm taking Dallas.
Shit show A and shit show B.
Right.
I'll go Cowboys.
The Silverdome standing Lions travel to Tampa Bay. Stafford,
he's
no
hurt.
broken hand.
No broken hand?
No broken hand, no fracture in the hand.
I'm going Lions then.
I'm going to go Detroit also. Raiders go to Chiefs. Must win for the Raiders.
I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going to go Oakland. They get Crabtree back. They possibly get Cooper back. Niners go to the Texans.
I'm going to pick the Niners so
I am
bad.
too. I'm riding the Garoppolo trail.
Let's go. I'll go Niners.
Packers at the Browns.
Pack.
I'm taking Cleveland for their first win of the year. Bears go to the Bengals.
Bengals.
I'm going Chicago. Minnesota 10-2 goes to Carolina.
I'm going Minnesota, and I might start riding that train all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, me too. Washington goes to the Chargers.
I'm going Chargers.
Same here. Jets go to the Broncos.
I don't want to pick the Broncos, but I will.
I'm taking the Jets. Titans go to the Cardinals.
I like the Titans.
As do I. I don't trust Blaine Gabbert. Ooh, this is going to be the game of the year right here. Eagles, coming off a loss tonight, go to the Rams.
That is going to be a hell of a game. Is that the Sunday night game?
No, it might get shifted to Sunday night though. There's a flex available starting next week.
I don't know.
Hurry, we're running out of time.
Eagles.
I'm gonna go Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams over.
I'm
Eagles.
reserving the right to switch that one.
That's
later.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Seahawks go to Jacksonville. That should be a good game too.
Jacksonville.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville at home as well. Sunday night game is Baltimore at Pittsburgh. I don't think you can go against Pittsburgh. And Monday night is the Patriots at the Dolphins.
Patriots.
All right, there you go. Week 14 picks are in. We have 45 seconds. If you're listening on Wildfire Radio Tuesday, this is Sports Talk 916. We broadcast live out of Sacramento, California, Sunday evenings. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Sports Talk 916 to find out when we will broadcast the show live on Mixlr. If you're on Facebook Live right now watching, or on the Mixlr Live feed right now, we are going to start up after hours. We're going to talk about the MLS expansion bid that's coming out that impacts Sacramento and other teams in the expansion bid. And we're going to talk about TJ the Sports Geeks, things that need to go in 2018.
Part one.
For Greg Veroza, I am Greg Bowl. This has been episode 227.
Night, Larry.
We are out.